The name of the Ripple stablecoin will be RLUSD. I like to call it Real USD, Ripple USD. We're very excited about this. I also will emphasize, as I've emphasized many times, we think this is very much complementary, additive to what the overall XRP ecosystem is doing. Anything we do in mind of how do we make sure XRP is as successful as possible for everyone here. Having, as David talked about stablecoins this morning, having liquidity on-chain, having the bridging and frankly better on-ramps and off-ramps, that's good for everybody.
How did it become XRPL and stablecoins versus, it seems like, at least if you rewind the clock a few years ago, XRPL would have been an alternative to stablecoins, or sort of a reason for stablecoins maybe not even to exist. How did that shift happen?
Well, I think one key thing to look at is just the way the DeFi universe sort of evolved, that you have stablecoins as a key enabler for DeFi. One of the things is that they're stable, and there's some cases where volatile assets are very useful, and there's other cases where volatile assets are not that useful. Like if you're trying to do things like volatility harvesting, you need volatility to harvest. But stable coins, like for pricing things and for holding things for like dry powder and trading when you don't want to be in the market, you really do need both. If you're going to have an AMM, there has to be at least two assets, right, that people are trading. If you're going to have liquidity, it has to be liquidity between two assets. So you have to have, multiple types of asset and multiple asset classes.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now, we have Bitcoin, crypto, and stocks up. And guys, we know what? Jerome is in the house. And like I told you guys, they're going to spin the narrative on these CPI numbers. Inflation is still hot. But what do they say? It's not as hot as they expected. That makes no sense whatsoever. But you see all the articles, all the mainstream media saying the same exact thing. That's the reason why you know it's all orchestrated. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, guys, do not forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates down, which we know they definitely should be up. We have the dollar down. We have volume and crypto down right now. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $410 billion. Make sure you're pulling that during the week. And again, guys, we have Jerome in the house. And we already know what he's going to say. We're going to be data dependent. Inflation is moving in the right direction. But the 2% inflation is the goal. And we're not changing that. And we know higher for longer is the goal because we're in a fragmented world. They want to destroy everything in this legacy market, so therefore they can bring in the robots, algorithms, and drones that have been ready and tested for decades. And I always tell you, this is biblical. My people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. The knowledge is right at your fingertips, especially in the time that we're in right now. But you stay distracted on things that don't matter And then when someone comes to educate you, you definitely reject it. And unfortunately, we all pay the price when the sheep are asleep. Remember, the Matrix movie was a documentary. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, in the second video tonight, you know I'm going to break down Jerome Powell's speech. And we have the Fed and the Treasury have been holding up the stock market due to election year. And guys, we have 5 more months. We right around the corner. So that's why I tell you, get in the lab and get prepared. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, we have the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We have BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale all up. And remember what I told you. Make sure you're paying attention to outflows. We had over 200 million. So, yes, pay attention to the inflows because the inflows get all the attention. But when we get outflows, no one wants to talk about it. But getting over into a little crypto news, we have Charles Hoskinson says that Cardano is on track for Voltaire upgrade this month, the French writer. Now we have Ripple to use XLR as bridge protocol for EVM sidechain. And we heard David Swart speaking about XRPL and Ripple's new stablecoin. And the reason why they're moving to stablecoins, guys, because we know why. Stablecoins can be pegged to that CBDC. It keeps the central banks in control. And remember what Brad Garlinghouse said a long time ago. He wants to work with the banks. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have MoonPay and PayPal crypto purchases integration expands to include the UK and EU customers. And we know that's all about adoption. And then also, we have MetaMask launches pooled staking to Ethereum, excluding US and UK users. And we know how big staking is going to be, but we know the SEC has to run this movie, has to stall the United States behind the emerging markets. But staking is the new interest, is the new dividends in the fourth industrial revolution. And then lastly, guys, we have Trump says he will advocate for Bitcoin miners when he gets into office. And when the climate agenda came out, boy, were they after Bitcoin. And now we have all the big corporations, all the big banks telling us all this energy that these data centers are going to be using. And now you've heard nothing about Bitcoin's energy. Remember what the crypto teacher teaches you. Follow the money. Do not listen to what they say because they're going to give you half the truth. We know how the devil works. He can't get in the mind unless he's giving you the truth, and then he wiggles in a lie. So, guys, that's the reason why you have to study, get in the lab, so therefore you don't fall for the devil's tricks. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, So therefore, we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the fourth industrial revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.